What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome to the Charmed After Show. We're talking episode 3, Sweet Tooth. We are dealing with our favorite demon-killing witches who just want to tell their loved ones what they really are, but they can't. We have new love interests in the game that I can't wait to talk about, and a new demon vessel. So things are heating up. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Obviously, we had a Halloween party, so we have to bring it in with an OG Halloween song. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Charmed After Show. We're talking episode 3, like I said, Sweet Tooth, and I think things are really heating up. I love this episode, even better than the 2 priors. But before we get into it, I'm Steph, Sabraw, and I'm joined by the lovely Madam Mozell, Alexus Mozell.
Hey, guys.
We're missing Kelly tonight, but she will be back. Before we get into it, tonight we'll be talking about the witch training, kind of where all 3 of the witches are and what they're doing right now, the human vessel and who that is, and the party where things all go down, and we see a lot, we get a lot of more like Easter eggs dropped into it. We'll also have our special segment, which we bring it back to the Charmed OG, the original, and we will be comparing it with the episode 3 of season 1 of Charmed. And we'll just talk about that a little bit. And I know that a lot of you guys in the chat right now are the Charmed OG fans, so that's always fun. And then we have some news and gossip from Alexus, and we'll wrap it up with some predictions. Before we get into the topics, what did you think about the episode?
I like this episode. Like you said, I agree. I think this episode was better than the previous 2. We see the sisters bonding more. They're getting more in tune with their magic, playing around with it, doing things they probably shouldn't be doing with the magic. And we get some love interest, which we predicted before about Gavin and Macy, and we see that coming into play. And then I also love that Harry and Mel kind of get an understanding of each other. Because, they've been like kind of tick for tack for the past 2 episodes.
Definitely.
Yeah, so this one definitely, I think we're getting more into what we want to see than more them kind of like doing the plot of the show. So I loved it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought we expected it to be a slow start. I mean, they're rebooting a incredible franchise, so this episode kind of solidified that I really like the direction they're going in. I think that the chemistry is building more. There's more plot line, and the special effects are really cool. And I feel like I'm already attached to all 3 witches. And now that Harry's good, I'm like way less stressed when he's around. So let's talk about the witch training and break down all 3 of the girls. Let's start with Macy. We find out she likes Galvin. I'm a huge fan of this. What do you think?
I love it. I knew that they were going to have something going on. So I'm happy that it's already like starting to transpire in the 3rd episode. Like we want to see this. So I definitely am for it. And then to find out that she is a virgin and she's 28 was like, whoa.
Yeah. I love that this is a Halloween episode. Perfect timing. Halloween is this Wednesday. She shows up to work and he says, "Cytosine, Macy, you complete me," and puts the C on her, and it's like this nerdy love that I'm all about.
Yes.
And he asks her out for dinner, and then she says no. But we get a lot more backdrop with her when she's at the party and she's trying to change costumes. She shows up as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which I actually am being on Wednesday, so I love that. And we find out that when she was in 9th grade, she was sent to boarding school. She was one of 2 non-white people in the school. And, quote, she said, "I had to pick what kind of minority I wanted to be quickly." And she ended up designating herself as, like, the nerdy, quiet, reserved one. And I thought this was a really seamless way of tying in the way a lot of people of color and women of color feel. And I'm interested, Alexus, especially on your take on this. Did that seem kind of accurate? Yeah. Or did you grow up in a mostly non-white school or white school?
Yeah, my like up until 10th grade, it was like predominantly black. But then we moved to the suburbs, and it was predominantly black. We had like a couple of black people, but yeah, I grew up in that type of setting, and it was I agree with her when you have to like identify yourself and then like find your place and where you want to, characterize yourself. So I definitely identify with her with that. And sometimes it is hard, like trying to figure out your identity and who you are when there aren't a lot of people around you that look like you, you know? And I mean, especially now, it's probably tougher. So I definitely identify with her on that situation.
Yeah. Totally. So she hits that point, and then she also hits a point I feel like a lot of women and people in general feel where they feel boxed in. And then this is where her and Maggie have a really cute bonding moment. And she's like, you're funny and serious, you're smart and sexy.
Yes.
Like, don't let people box you in. And then she turns her into Persephone, which is the goddess of the underworld. And I know Nas in the chat had said that there's been a lot of chat conspiracy going that she is half from the underworld. Her dad must be from the underworld. So I don't know. That could be an Easter egg. What do you think?
Oh, I didn't even think. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. What if?
Yeah.
Is that why she was hidden all this time?
Right?
Yeah, I think that's a good little analysis to have of that situation. And if it does turn out to be like that, I like how they did that.
Yeah.
Like making her that for Halloween. Like that's a clue right there. I like that.
Totally.
Yeah.
I know. I love that. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, Maggie. Maggie was so adorable this episode.
Yeah.
I loved her. So we knew going into the season that she would be the one, the youngest one, struggling between keeping a normal life and then her witch training. And she's really trying to keep in Kappa and continue with the pledging. And we see a new love interest at the restaurant. What was your just initial thought of him?
Honestly, I thought, because he just popped out
The restaurant
of
she works in,
Yeah, he just popped out of nowhere. I thought maybe he was going to be a bad guy. My initial thought of him when I saw him. But I was like, oh, he's cute. Maybe he'll be a new love interest. But I also started to think, oh, maybe he could be a bad guy. And then we later find out that...
Yeah, I was unsure of him. I'm always unsure of men, especially on Charmed.
Yes.
You have to keep your eye out. It's exactly how it was in the original series as well, and in life. Let's be honest, with anyone coming into your life. And she is trying to get back on Kappa's good side because she's obviously juggling so much. She's missing a lot of things. So she offers to throw the party off campus for them. And uses the glamour spell, which I love. I love this spell.
Yes.
Did you like that?
Yes, I did. And I think it's actually kind of funny that Harry told her it was going to have like some, you can't be doing magic for your personal use. And we start to see that, especially close to the end when she ended up with that big giant wart on her face in the corner. And then she played it off with Lucy and said, made it seem like it was all a part of the plan when really it wasn't. It was just the magic doing the little flip side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like she is the one who kind of, all of them in this episode, I'll point out a few comments with Macy. They brought that realism of the times into it, and Maggie's always the one with the cell phone, and someone in the Carlos Hernandez in the chat said her phone going off was so on point. You see that at the most inappropriate times, which is so true. And I love that she provides a lot of comedic relief in that sense.
Yeah, she was like, I put it on airplane mode. I was like, that's so our generation.
Yeah. But I love the house, the party with the glamour.
It was really cute, and her costume was really cute too. They all looked really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay, Mel. Mel is causing me so much grief, but I feel her. She's the feistiest of them all. She knows what she wants. She's really into being a witch, and she's butting heads with Harry. But we do see them getting along, like you said. You like that?
I like that, because I kind of want them all to be on the same page, even though Mel is very alpha female. I like that they come to an understanding. He lets her know why he's been so hard on her, because she reminds him of someone from the past. So I like that they showed us that, they're going to eventually, they've come to an understanding and they get each other now. Now she knows, she lets him know, hey, the reason why I feel this way is because, I'm having to keep a secret from someone I love. My mom has never had me, in the closet when she refers to her being, a lesbian. And then he comes to let her know, I see a lot of qualities in you that I saw in a previous witch I worked with. So I really like that they're giving us a little more understanding, because they're the only two that really go tick for tack. The other girls have basically opened up to Harry, and they warmed up to him.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that, the party, but it's a perfect time to talk about it now. I loved that conversation. I thought it was so important and another way of seamlessly tying in a really important issue. And it's interesting because I know a lot of people, when they heard about the reboot, they knew they were going to press issues and political commentary, but I think that they've done a good job so far of making it kind of funny and real. And when she's saying, like, my mom always raised me in a non-judgmental family. She knew I was gay before I even knew, and then now, ironically, I have to hide in a closet and being a witch. So we'll definitely see more progression between her and Nico and not, and deciding whether or when she'll tell her.
Yeah.
And she is going out on the investigation kind of on her own, which gets sketchy. Before we get into the human vessel, Alexus has a message for us.
Yes. Hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, we love you guys. And shout out to all the people in the chat. I will definitely go through that at the end of our breakdown. Okay, let's get into this human vessel. We kind of all had this inkling that it would be Angela.
Yes.
Because it had to be someone from the lab. And we see, it starts out with someone recording a podcast and he's like, the radical feminists have criminalized masculinity. They call it toxic.
Yeah.
And then we see what we think is the vessel come in. At this point, were you pretty sure it was Angela?
Oh, yeah. Especially how the last episode ended. I definitely knew it was her, for sure. Which is really weird. But yeah, I knew it was her for sure. For sure.
She was being really creepy, and I feel like Mel felt that.
Yeah.
So she brings the cookies that have sugar in it, which is supposed to combine with...
she mixed it with something.
With the ingredients of the demon that they found in the lab. And so she takes it to Angela and she fakes eating it.
Which is, how does she do that? Because she ate it, she chewed it, but then when Mel left out, she like basically pulled it out her mouth and it was still a whole cookie. Like, how do you do that?
I guess when you're a demon, it was very grudgy. Did you feel that? Grudge meets The Ring, like
yes.
Samara. That was kind of this character in the making. Yeah, so we find out then that virgin blood is powerful for demons. And actually, I didn't want to talk about that because in most supernatural shows, a lot of them, I am covering Midnight Texas. And it's funny because this specific thing where virgin blood or virgin witches especially are very powerful and alluring to demonic forces. So I like that element, but it also really creeps me out.
That's very, and you said they're very powerful?
Yeah, in Midnight Texas, virgin witches are more powerful. I don't think that's the same storyline here, but in magic and supernatural stories, they play a lot with the idea of being a virgin.
And then Macy's a virgin, and I feel like she's one of the most powerful sisters. So, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, let's get to the party. Maggie falls in the new boy. So Maggie is doing the whole glamour spell for this party. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
And right when they're getting the ingredients, because they know that the demonic presence is there, I didn't know she had like kind of like a glitch, but I wasn't, because the new guy from the restaurant pops up, and at this point I thought it might have been him.
And I didn't realize when she had that little glitch that it was because of the spell she had did. I wasn't thinking that.
Neither did
I thought
I.
something else was going on. And then he just magically popped up and was able to save her when she was about to fall.
Yeah, I'm like,
Very
this
weird.
guy.
Very weird.
Yeah, too much coincidence always means a red flag, which we later find out he is the boyfriend of the main Kappa's sister.
Which, Where is he? Well, maybe he's just been in the hiding these past. It's only been 2 episodes.
Well,
But
she's always been with the Kappa sisters,
Yeah.
so it makes sense he wasn't presented. But that was a left turn.
very left turn, and I definitely see something else going on with that little scenario with Maggie and him. That's not the end of that little situation, because he definitely has a thing for her, but he totally has a whole girlfriend.
Yeah. I did want to talk about, speaking of boys and girls, I loved with Macy and Galvin when she comes down and she's like this gorgeous goddess of the underworld. And she goes, James Bond, played by Idris Elba, which is another relevant quote because we know that Idris Elba is in the talks of playing James Bond.
They're very good with these little scenarios they put in the show.
I loved that. So then we obviously find out Harry warned that glamour spells have consequences.
Yeah.
And usually most spells have some form of a consequence. And that makes sense. Any superficial things or spells for personal gain, we know from the original Charmed, always has a consequence.
Always.
So then they find out Macy is a virgin. I was shocked to find this out, but it makes a lot of sense with her storyline that she kind of closeted herself.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. And why she's kind of like she's kind of taken back with Galvin's interest in her. Because he seems like a really good guy. So the way she's like, kind of bagging off and Maggie's like kind of pushing it, it explains a lot with her being a virgin. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she lures the demon, Angela, out. This is when they realize that Angela or someone in the building is a demon, and she cuts herself and is like staging the scene. And they go out and finally lock her in, but the consequences with Maggie show and they can't complete the spell to handle the demon, which was really stressful. And then Mel, which I kind of knew, I thought that this was going to happen, that Mel was so stubborn and in her ways to do what she wanted and not listen to the elders or to Harry, that she performed one of the most dangerous spells of all time. And we think that Macy might be hurt from it. What did you think of this?
Sometimes, I feel like Mel, she was doing what she thought was best, but I think, like you said, she's stubborn and she doesn't think of the consequences of it. Because Harry, tried to stop her before she did it, and it was like, she's too close, and she still went ahead and did it. She was trying to save her sister, which I get, but she's stubborn. Her stubbornness, she had to listen. Like, he's telling you, hey, you need to stop. She's too close, and she does it anyway. But like he said, at the end of the day, what she did was defeat the demon, which was needed to be done. So, and, we're happy to know that Macy is okay after being, struck by that power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen Carter in the chat said, I wonder if the oldest is still the most powerful. So, it could have played a part into how she was okay. Also, Harry being there.
Yeah.
And then they end up, the demon's not dead, Angela's not dead, but Macy is okay, and they go back because they know that the glamour spell is wearing off. And Macy kisses Galvin!
I love it. I'm here for it.
I'm so here for it.
I love it. I like that I like that they ended the episode with that, because, she was still kind of like, I don't know. But then she just runs up and she just kisses him. I'm like, yes, girl, you go,
yes.
girl. I'm here for it.
I love how the youngest sister is the one who fired her up like that.
Yes.
Take control of your life. I love that. Because sometimes it's like you can't wait and you have to just act on, especially when we're always going to see this tug between being a witch and being sisters, and family comes first, and then their actual personal life. So she handled her business well.
I know.
Good job.
Here for
yeah,
it.
we're here for it, Macy.
Little love story.
After Mel uses that power, though, it was Macy and Maggie who went back. Mel stays with Harry, and he goes, now this is a teachable moment, because yes, you were reckless, but you were the first to notice that Angela probably was a demon, and you really went after it. And this is where things get a little bit, I want to see your opinion on if you think this is going to be a deeper conversation. He said, you remind me of Fiona. I did think that they were about to say you remind me of one of the original Charmed sisters, and I was like, oh, this is the callback a lot of people in the chat and myself and comments have been saying. Did you think that was going to happen?
Honestly, I did, but then I was like, well, being that we watched the original Charmed, who could he have been in the original Charmed? So I did think, I was like, okay, well, who's he going to say? Which sister? Or maybe even the sister's mom. You know, it didn't have to be the original sister. It could have been their mother. And then he breaks out the name Fiona, and I'm like, who's Fiona?
Yes.
I was hoping for one of the original girls or even their mom, grandma, someone. And then he said Fiona, and I'm like, who's this Fiona character?
Yeah,
we don't know who this is.
Who is Fiona?
I know. We don't know who she
All
is.
we know is that Harry trained her, and like Maggie, like Mel, sorry, like Mel, she had a relationship, but in this case, she trusted the wrong person with her secret of being a witch, and she ended up in like a psych ward,
Which is so weird.
which is so crazy and scary. And Mel decides that she says that she's not going to tell Nico for now. What do you think? Do you think honesty is the best policy, or she should hold on a little bit longer?
I get where she's coming from, that she wants to tell Nico this is someone she loves, it's her partner. I totally get it. She doesn't like to keep secrets. She doesn't like to be in a box. I get it. But I feel like she's still fairly new to being a witch. She kind of still doesn't know, even though she loves Nico, she doesn't know who she can trust. You know, people are out to get them. So I think she should definitely listen to Harry and just give it some time. Like, you know, you just found out you're a witch. Give it some time and then, you know, let it play out. And then eventually, when you feel the time is right, you should tell her. Because I feel like she just wants to tell her now because she needs someone to tell and talk to outside of her sisters and Harry, which is understandable. But I think she just needs to give it some time. Just a little time. And then she can let her know.
I agree.
Yeah.
We do know that under the truth serum, she had no bad intentions.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
And they seem to really love each other. Prince Rico Suave 21 in the chat. What's up? He says, yes, Fiona was a callback to how Patty died and she had the power to freeze too. And Carlos Hernandez said Fiona is the name that of the actress who played the mom in the OG. So, I mean, it could be like little Easter egg ties, which we've seen them kind of do, like the Elizabeth Warren picture in the first episode. So we don't know if it's going to be a lasting piece, but it's definitely a piece of her story moving forward. And then, we find out Parker, who is the boyfriend, is a snake, apparently. And until the elders arrive, they have to watch over the demon. So Angela demon form is in their house.
Like, she's just in the attic, gonna just be in the attic? That's so weird.
She looks so creepy and scary.
I wouldn't even go up there. So I feel like something's gonna come from that. They're not. I mean, they are witches, but they're just gonna hold her in the attic, just captive. I mean, no, that's creepy.
Oh yeah, aren't Angela's parents gonna come looking for her?
She just woke up out of a coma. Like, yeah.
We do see in the preview that and they believe Angela's spirit is still in there, so that will be really stressful moving forward of how they deal with it, because it'll be one of those like right or wrong, good outweighs evil, vice versa. So I'm really curious about that. Do you have any more comments about the episode in general?
No, I think it was a really good episode. I like that the sisters are getting more in tune with their magic. They're planning, like we see Macy when she's doing the egg in the morning, and then Nico walks in and she's like, drop the egg. Maggie, of course, doing magic, making skinny margaritas. And then she did the whole decor for her Halloween party. And then Mel freezing, people just, when she wants to freeze them. But I think overall, it's getting good. It took a moment, but I think we're getting more into what we want to see come from this reboot.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with that. Okay, let's get into our special segment then.
Okay.
And we will be talking about Season 1, Episode 3 of the original Charmed, Thank You for Not Morphing. This aired October 21st, 1998. It was directed by Ellen Pressman, written by Chris Levinson and Zach Estrin. This episode is where the sister's estranged father, Victor, returns and is immediately at odds with Prue, cannot forgive him for being an absentee father. I don't blame you, Prue. He confesses he is trying to save the girls from the risks of having their powers by removing the Book of Shadows from the manor. However, it appears he has teamed up with new neighbors who are shape-shifting demons trying to steal the book. The sisters vanquish the shapeshifters and their father accepts their destiny. Despite planning to meet up with them, he leaves town, but leaves a videotape of a happy Christmas that the family had. I remember really loving this episode because I didn't know if Victor was good or bad.
Yeah.
I really couldn't decide. And I love that we have the information of who the father is. And I know that in our news and gossip, Alexus will be touching on the father of the new Charm series. So it is kind of similar to this series. We do have kind of a shapeshifter. I mean, it's Angela, but a demonic force is able to enter, like, use a vessel. So it's a little bit similar. But I love how we still have the Book of Shadows and we still have a house. Although we do know, I know some people in the comments last episode thought, I think it was Kelly who was wondering if it was the same place. We know it's not the same place. This is in Michigan and that was in San Francisco. But I like that there is a home base.
Yeah.
That we can move with. But yeah, that is our special segment for you guys. And obviously all the episodes are streaming on Netflix. I'm in the process of rewatching the episodes. I'm on season 3. Yeah, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, you're further than me. I'm still in season 1. It takes me forever.
It's good though. You don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into our news and gossip.
Okay, so at the
You gotta have the jam.
So back at Comic-Con in New York earlier this month, the ladies of the show, the main actresses, we found out that only one of them is actually Latina, which is the actress that plays Mel, Melanie Diaz. She's the only Latina. Sarah Jeffrey, who's played by Maggie, she's actually African-American, English, and Canadian. And then we have Madeline Mantock. She is Afro-Caribbean, which she says she's Jamaican, which is very interesting. So there's only really one Latina on the cast. And then they also explain more and say that the reason why that they all have different backgrounds is because they're going to explore the option of them all having different fathers.
Wow.
Even though Mel and Maggie have the same last name, they're going to have different fathers. So it's going to be a little different than the original Charm because we know Macy has a different dad. But yeah, they're going to explore that. And Sarah, Jeffrey, and Melanie Diaz, Mel and Maggie are going to have different fathers. They're going to have different backgrounds.
Wow, I'm really excited for that.
I like that.
Because that opens up so many more storylines that they can enter. Mm-hmm. It is kind of interesting that they're all going to be different dads. I mean, just like looking at it from afar. But I mean, it happens. And I like it's cool for this show.
I like it too. And it's this generation. So I definitely think that's going to be interesting and to explore the different backgrounds. So that's going to be even more interesting. So I'm wondering when they're going to bring that, into the show.
Yeah.
I love it though.
And Billie Jean Girl 24 says, I knew that. You can tell. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah,
it makes sense. All the girls have a little bit of a different look. Mm-hmm. Either way, I'm just happy we have some women of color on the screen.
Yes.
And some awesome witches. Okay, that concludes our news and gossip. I wanted to give a few fan shout outs from last week in the comment section. Jesse Drew, he says, or she, either or, I'm not sure. I really do like this panel. I'm a diehard original Charmed, but I'm open to this reboot. Love the idea of comparing OG episodes to the new episode. If you ever need help with the info on the OG, I can help. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
Maybe we will. DanMan92, just stumbled upon you guys, subscribed, was a massive fan of the original show growing up, totally have such high hopes for the reboot. Awesome, we do too. Mrs. Julian, I like that they are younger, but I wish the original Charmed could have been involved some way. We definitely agree with that. And side note, Holly Marie Combs still has a career. I do want to talk about this. We do know that. I love Holly Marie Combs. Piper was one of my favorite characters. Second favorite sister. I have to give it to Phoebe, but she was the glue that kept them together.
Yeah.
And we definitely need to see that in one of the characters this year. I'm curious to see which one will be that one that keeps them. I think it's Maggie, actually.
Yeah.
But I love her, and we do know she obviously has a career. She was in Pretty Little Liars. She's produced and directed a lot of things, and she's just a total superstar. So we do love her, and there is no age limit for witches. We recognize that. Witches are universal. And then Gabriella Bianchi subscribed. Greetings from Puerto Rico. So cool.
Ooh.
Thank you for
Hi.
subscribing. And you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave comments after this stream is over because the chat will erase. And make sure to hit that like button. And then if you're listening on iTunes podcast and now SoundCloud and Spotify, hit that, rate us 5 stars or whatever good whatever good move you can send. And also leave us a comment because we want to keep the conversation going past this stream.
Yes.
But let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Alexus, hit it.
My prediction is we're going to see more of Macy and Galvin relationship, which I love personally. And Angela Wu, I don't think this is the end of her. Even being in the demon being in her body, I just don't feel like this is the end of that whole situation. And I am hoping we find out a little more about this Fiona person and who Harry said that Mel reminds him of. I feel like maybe she'll dig deeper and we'll get a little more information. And of course, I feel like the ladies are going to get more into their powers. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to still be training next episode. And I'm interested to see who's going to be our demon for next week. So I feel like every week we have a new demon. So I'm interested to see if it's not going to still be Angela Wu. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm definitely into seeing the witch training. We did get a little simulation witch training, which was really cool. But I want to see more of it. I want to see them develop the skills since, unlike the original, they kind of just went right into it. So I want to see them develop it and really master it. Curious to see what happens with the demon in their house and the elders. I really want to know who these elders are, what advice they have to offer, what their story is, and how they're going to play a part in this season moving forward. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, make sure to hit that like button. Until next week, where can we find you?
You guys can find me. I'm Alexus Mozell, and you can find me at Madam_Mozell on all social networks.
I'm Steph Sabraw. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be here next Sunday to break down episode 4 of Charmed. Until then, we'll see you later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.